and I like the mood of the film, I like the duration of the film, because it's a little bit more longer, and there are so many different facets in the film. When did you decide to start the film about RYUICHI Sakamoto?
Yes, that's a good question. I started, it was just about, my goodness, 6 years ago. But I happened to see Mr. Sakamoto at a grassroots event here in New York City. And I just started to wonder about what he was thinking at the time. It was right after the tsunami and the Fukushima debacle. It was actually a grassroots event about nuclear contamination back home in Japan. And since I saw him there, I thought, this might make a great movie somehow. It just kind of like sparked my curiosity.
And between the idea of the beginning of making this film and the result, you were thinking about this? What was your first idea when you started to think about making this film? And I hope it changed, of course.
Yes. The first idea was to chronicle Mr. Sakamoto's social activism with some sort of intercutting with his music. And at the time, he was planning for an event called No Nukes, which he's still continuing. But he was planning a big concert event in Tokyo, 2-day event. So I was thinking maybe we could make a concert film which also intercuts with his activism. To make a long story short, that became difficult to do. But simultaneously, I thought of a more kind of biographical, narrative approach, if you will. And this ultimately became this film. I always wanted to call the film CODA because I wanted to end with a new expression for the film, new kind of musical expression. So this was a title that I had in mind since 2012, actually. And so I wanted to kind of follow him until all the new things that was happening in his life would somehow affect his creativity. And I wanted to follow the result of that and end with his new musical expression.
I really appreciate the scene when RYUICHI Sakamoto is fishing the sound. It's one of the most, I really enjoy it. And by the way, there's a lot of fun in the film. There's a lot of light scene, but I want to ask you about your involvement about climate change. I really like the captation of the sound and how it's related to your work. And also your involvement about the climate change. No, the first, I think, I just want you to talk a little bit more about when you fish the sound, the captation of the sound, and how you use this type of music now.
I don't remember how many years ago, but I'm thinking of music. Well, my way of making music is very close to fishing. Like, I fish in a lake or river, and then go back home and start cooking. So I'm always fishing some sounds, unknown sounds or good sounds, wherever I am. Then, assemble them, correct them, then just listening to them. Then, when I get some idea, just cutting some fish, or maybe, or whatever, putting some effects, or changing colors, whatever, and a nice presentation at the end. Very much like cooking, fishing and cooking.
Fishing and cooking.
Yes.
Do you have any question for Mr. Sakamoto and for Stephen, of course, the film, and maybe what you think about the film after the screening? Yes, Mr. Can you stand up because we don't have any more mic? Thank you.
Yeah, I knew that you made a film competition. I knew that you did a film competition to look for filmmakers who would make films for the last piece of, I don't know, interpret the last film, the next film of Tchaikovsky, and how did why did you do the film competition, and what did you realize after that? Kind of?
You mean I made this album, I think, for the imaginary Tchaikovsky film.
Right.
That's what you meant.
Yeah, and there was a film competition that you filmed.
Oh, short film
Short film.
competition. Yes. After that.
Yeah, I want to hear more about the process.
Because somehow the album, I think, is well, may inspire filmmakers to get some inspiration. I hoped. We got 700 short films at the end. So, well, you know, old and young, good and bad. Some are like music videos. Some are like really serious films. I'm so glad about the result, what I was doing. But you know, the motivation was, you know, the music of async, async is somehow cinematic and imaginative.
Okay, Mr.
In viewing the film now, does it create a feedback loop in your head about new sounds and new ideas and things you want to create that in seeing this review of yourself?
No.
Is there a response you have in your head musically as in terms of seeing your...
Some moments, yes. Like I was looking at the very end, the end credits, and at the very end of the ending music, which is called Garden, it's looped very nicely, like a looped, like cycle. I really liked it.
Mr. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Thank you. So he's asking what the theme of my album. I don't know. So.
Yes. Yes, you.
So I have a question about the song in Mr. Lawrence called Germination, and I see this that piece in Call Me by Your Name again, and you don't do that very often. And I wonder if you really like that piece, or if there's some similarities between that.
Oh, I see. Not the theme of Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence, but a track from Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence soundtrack.
Yes.
That's what you meant.
Yeah, the Germination.
You being used in Call Me by Your Name by Luca Guardi. Now he's my friend. I like him. He's very talented, and I'm looking really forward to seeing his next film.
Suspiria, yeah, me too.
Music by Tom York. First time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wow. Anyway, you know, he knows music very well, and he uses music very carefully and with a lot of respect in his films. And I really liked the way he used a track from a soundtrack. Is that the answer?
Mr.
I'm curious that have you ever got any actually offer to do composing actually the animation, particularly like a Japanese animation?
Like Ghibli, Miyazaki film.
Like Miyazaki film or any kind of film, that would you be interested in doing?
Well, I worked for one animation film maybe 35 years ago. Yeah. I don't remember the title. Also, I just finished making another soundtrack for a new animation film, which is produced by the Korean producer, made by Tezuka Pro. Tezuka Pro is a famous manga cartoon production. But it's going to be out at the end of this year. Probably in Korea first, then Japan, China maybe, and hopefully here. It's a dinosaur animation. Why just that?
I'm just naturally curious that because you have a wide range of actually, the composing career, but even though when I was growing up in Japan, I never knew he had a work on animation, even though we have a large number of talented animators. So I was just curious that you had to work with them because as an artist, you kind of intrigue their works.
What's the name of the director of Princess Kaguya at the Ghibli? Takahata-san. Yeah, Mr. Takahata. Just passed away recently. I visited to see Mr. Takahata a few years ago. I was called. Then I was fired. My music was too serious for me.
Yes.
I'm just curious, your relationship together. Both of you are creating at the same time in the same room with so much silence. I'm wondering if you both could talk about how that felt and how your relationship developed over time of filming.
Good question.
Yes, that's a very good question. I was born and raised in Tokyo, and I grew up listening to Mr. Sakamoto's music, so he's my hero. And so I was always being inspired while following my subject, with the camera. Of course I studied his music very much, and I wanted to make a film that would also match his music well and what he was creating well. And it's very hard to explain. I mean, I remember now, looking back, I think I was talking about Tarkovsky and stuff before I knew he was going to be into Tarkovsky, but I was thinking about his book Sculpting in Time and what Tarkovsky often wrote about catharsis, and I kept saying maybe, we could, I have a one-track mind, so I was like, maybe we could end with music, we could end with amazing new music, maybe, And then, a few years later, of course, Mr. Sakamoto started to speak about Tarkovsky in a different light, about how he was affected and so forth. So, so that was one aspect. I learned so much from my subject. I think one thing was whenever I would have a plan, for example, when I interviewed Mr. Sakamoto, and I would lay out my plans beforehand, I want the narrative to be like this, so maybe you could talk about that. He would utterly destroy everything I try to do because, and because, of course, right? Because of the kind of amazing artist that Mr. Sakamoto is. And then, so I was completely kind of taken apart. And one thing I learned was from him, really, was that when you completely lose all of your preconditions and preconceptions and whatever, you start following your intuition, and that's more interesting. And that's what happened in the editing room for us. I mean, Hisayo and Keiko are here, two of our amazing editors. But towards the end, I started to just be like, oh, let's just throw that in and edit, whatever. And I think I was driving her really crazy, but it's something I learned from him, really.
Probably you did a very personal thing, you bring your voice, and this, of course, the music is extraordinary, but I really appreciate you bring your voice to the film, and so you derive the film is good.
I worship in spontaneity. I don't like blueprint or scripts. anything, any prepared storytelling or stereotypical stories. I do want to improvise all the time. So we are improvising, that's good. And also, I was so impressed with what he said earlier. He tried to match his film to my music, but I always try to match my music to a film. That's what we do. So this has happened the first time in my life. Some filmmaker.
Maybe one or two last questions. Yes, the first one, please.
I have two questions for Sakamoto-san. The first one is, I enjoy the pictures that you posted on Instagram. So I'm wondering, as a musician, what are the images that intrigue you, and do you perceive a music or soundscape when you see those images? And the second question is, I've been to the Async performance at Park Avenue Armory, and I was wondering what kind of adjustments you would make when you perform that piece at a different venue.
Let's start by the first one in the images.
Yeah, the images. Yes, I post some photos and images on Instagram lately, often. Those photos, shot by myself. And I always thought I didn't have a good sense of image. So I'm kind of training myself because I don't want to be ashamed, by posting my images. So I want to be better. It's a hard training. And also train my eye to get better angle or better color combination or combination of light and shadow, etc. So I like that.
Thank you. Maybe a last question. The second film. The second question about the Armory.
Adjustment from the album for live at the Armory. Well, since the live at the Armory, Park Avenue Armory, I have done maybe 8-9 live concerts since then. In the past 1 year. Actually, this one was right 1 year ago. Exactly a year ago at the Park Avenue Armory. Anyway, yeah, since then I performed in Oslo, Tokyo, and France, in many cities. And each one, well, I've been trying to adjust also to develop from the album. The album is like a kind of a frozen piece. But to do live concerts or performance is to make the frozen piece alive. So there would be so many ways to do that. And I've been thinking, I've been developing, I've been adjusting each time. And I think it's been getting better and better. So maybe I should do another one in New York to show the results of my development.
Yes, just last question, please, and then it's your word.
Thank you very much. I just have a simple question. If you were to give advice for a young person learning to listen, what would it be?
Well, it's not from me, but from some master of sound and silence. Just open your ears. Open it. Open it.
That's John Cage, right?
John Cage. So Stephen, maybe you want to say some word about people who work on the film?
Yes, well actually, since we're a New York-based team, and this is our North American premiere, we have a lot of people here who worked on the film. So if I could be a little bit director-like, can you all stand? Don't be shy. Come on, Aaron, stand. Well, Tom, Silo, Jacob, Jack, thank you all so much. And also our team, our amazing distribution team from movie and our publicity staff as well.
The film is going to be released at the beginning of July.
Yes, the film is going to open July 6th, and we're really excited about our team here. They're working so hard. So we're very grateful. Thank you all so much for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.